$10 trillion, right? This is breaking news. BlackRock launching an institutional trust for spot Bitcoin exposure. I'm going to bring in now podcast host, Bitcoin expert, Layah Heilpern. And Layah, of course, you have often talked about institutions getting involved in this. So how big is this news?
This is incredibly bullish news. You have to consider the current climate that we're in right now. Right now, we are in a bear market. We're at the beginning of a recession. And of course, despite the CPI numbers coming out yesterday, inflation is still soaring. And yet, the world's largest asset manager wants to give exposure to Bitcoin. This is truly incredible. Also, we have to consider the fact that Bitcoin is only 13 years old. It's this new digital asset, and many people still regard it as that risk-on asset. And during times like this, where there's a lot of political and economic instability globally, people tend to sell their riskiest assets first and actually move to things like gold and more blue chip stocks. And so right now, this really shows us that there's huge demand. The smart money sees tremendous value in Bitcoin as this global payments network. Any
hesitation at all, though? We just had a discussion about the ESG movement, how BlackRock and others are using that. And listen, let's face it. I mean, an entire country is holding on by a thread because of this. I mean, any worries at all? I know there's got to be some legitimacy. That's where all the big money is to move the needle. But are you any concerns at all?
In terms of the ESG narrative, I have no concerns whatsoever, because for the very first time, Bitcoin is an asset which can be mined anywhere in the world using renewable energy. The amount of energy that's actually being used to mine Bitcoin in that renewable way, which of course is better for the environment, is increasing. There are major companies and mining companies like Iris Energy, for example. They actually mine Bitcoin using 100% renewable energy. And so if you were to completely disregard this and still push that ESG narrative, that would be very intellectually lazy, in my opinion.
Let me say on the political stuff for a second, because you've become louder and louder on some of these social issues, and you recently listed the 5 biggest scams, and democracy is on the list. Why is that a scam?
Well, to be clear, I don't think democracy in and of itself is a scam. I think the current form of democracy that we have is a scam. I think we have a democratic deficit. In the United Kingdom, for example, we have a 2-party system. That's not democracy. That's a democratic deficit. In the US, you have a population of 330 million people, and the best you could come up with is Biden and Trump. That's not democracy. That's the worst of 2 evils. We also have to look at this organization, which seems to be having a lot of control right now, which is the World Economic Forum. The chairman of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, has actually said that his goal is to have individuals who are part of their organization implemented in cabinets all over the world. This includes Biden, who in the US, he's World Economic Forum. It includes Boris Johnson. It includes Macron in France, and it also includes Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand and Trudeau in Canada. So the goal here is to have one kind of global agenda implemented by one centralized entity in Europe. That's not democracy. That's a one global agenda, which is very, very concerning.
Yeah, and you're talking about the Davos folks. Does this add credence, though, or even urgency to the notion of Bitcoin and a decentralized revolution?
Oh, I love this question, Charles. Absolutely. Bitcoin is the only form of money which is truly decentralized. It empowers not just money, but it empowers a decentralized mentality, understanding that anything centralized cannot be trusted. Bitcoin is this trustless network whereby you don't have to put your trust into any centralized entity, whether it's a central bank, whatever it is. So absolutely, Bitcoin is that mentality which I really believe it empowers.
Hey, I got to go, but I do want to... the last couple of times you've been on, you got the energy, but you're not rambunctious. You're not telling me $100,000 US, $1 million US. I mean, what's up with that? I mean, is it still going to go to the moon?
Oh, it's still going to the moon. I'm still very bullish, but I'm also realistic. We are in a bear market. And so, no, I don't think we're going to see $1 million Bitcoin tomorrow or $100,000 Bitcoin tomorrow. But yes, in the next 10 years, 100%. Bitcoin is already up 400% in the last 2 years. So long term, I'm always bullish, but I'm realistic. We're in a bear market right now. And I think Bitcoin is holding up pretty good right now.
Yeah, it's holding up really well, especially breaking through 24,000. Layah, it's always a pleasure. Thank you very much.